Margaret Weaver, 62, was a retired librarian in the tight-knit town of Fairbrook. Known for her warm smile, her homemade pies, and her neatly kept rose garden, she had no husband, no children, and no criminal history. To her neighbors, she was the last person who could be linked to a crime. Margaret's only known family was a long-estranged niece. Few knew the details, only that a bitter falling out decades earlier had kept them apart. What no one realized was that the niece's teenage daughter, Margaret's grandniece, had recently given birth at St. Mary's Hospital. When the newborn boy vanished from the hospital, chaos erupted. His 17-year-old mother awoke from a nap to find his bassinet empty. Investigators initially suspected the baby had been abandoned somewhere nearby. Flyers went up, search teams scoured the town, and the news branded it a possible dump-and-run case. 2 days later, a neighbor told police they'd heard strange crying from Margaret's house. Officers arrived to find the baby swaddled in a handmade blue quilt, lying in a carved wooden cradle in Margaret's living room. At first, Margaret claimed she'd found the child left near the old train tracks and brought him home for safety. But inconsistencies in her timeline and witness reports, plus hospital security footage of a figure in her trademark floral scarf, pointed to her as the abductor. The real motive unraveled when DNA revealed the baby was her grandson. Margaret's grandniece had been pressured by the baby's father, a man with a violent past and a blood tie to Margaret, to give up the child for money. Margaret believed if she handed the boy back, he'd be taken and possibly harmed. In her mind, taking him was not kidnapping, it was rescuing her blood. Hospital footage. A woman in a floral scarf entering the maternity ward before the disappearance. DNA tests confirmed the baby's biological link to Margaret. Witness statements. Neighbor hearing infant cries before the arrest. Forensic match. Fibers from Margaret's scarf found in the hospital's maternity wing. Margaret was convicted of abduction but given a reduced sentence due to the circumstances. The baby was placed in foster care under state protection. Fairbrook was left reeling. Was she a criminal or a desperate protector? Her roses wilted, her house stood empty, and her once unblemished name became the town's most complicated story.